Okay. What's up, Jenny? Downey Transparent. Hi. Welcome. Never seen you in my chat before. Welcome. Claudette. Okay, we're at the we're at City Hall on Municipal Drive in Farmington, New Mexico. Going to the Citizens Police Advisory Board or Council. It's almost 5:30. That's locked. That's where the meeting room is. Hello. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Did you want to sign in for the meeting tonight?
No, thanks.
Okay, I will sign you in. I'll meet you at that door.
Okay, what if we don't want you to sign us in?
I'm sorry, we sign in all visitors to City Hall that move beyond that door and that door.
Okay. I don't consent to waiving my Fourth Amendment.
I'll just put your
Anita.
initials. Does that work for you, sir?
You're still gonna put it down, right? Even though,
Yes, sir. It is 5:30. I believe the meeting started. I'll meet you at that door.
Okay. See the signage real quick. Kinsey, Anita. Okay, thank you.
I'll go live, you'll have to go to one chat, you have a good night. See if it's fucking raining.
How's the video quality? You're watching Press for Transparency?
Good.
Ready? It's 5:30. Call a meeting to order. We do have a quorum present. Everybody's here but what, Danielle. So that's great. I'm glad to see you all. First item on the agenda is approval of minutes from the March 18, 2025 meetings. Everybody had a chance to review them.
Yes.
So I'd entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve.
Have a motion, is there a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes from the March 18th, 2025 meeting indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Right. Motion carries. All right, we need to approve the open meetings resolution. You have a copy in your packet there. So we have to decide if we're going to continue with meetings at 5:30 on Tuesday, the third Tuesday, at 5:30 for the months of January, March, May, July, September, and November. Anybody want to change? No. Right, if not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the resolution setting and establishing a regular meeting day. So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, a first and second. Is there any discussion?
No.
All those in favor of approving the resolution setting and establishing a regular meeting day, time, and place indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Police chief's report. We don't have a chief.
Oh, no, the chief said at another meeting, so I'll be stepping in for him.
Perfect.
So the only thing really we have for an update is the progression for our building is still going. We don't have an exact move-in date yet for that, but it's been a couple years in the works. They are actively working in the building now, so they're past the architectural phases and all that, and they're into the actual demolition and the building of the building. So we're excited about that. It's been a couple years, and we look forward to moving into that soon.
You said demolition?
They're past the demolition part. So demolition as in they gotta knock down some walls.
Oh, okay.
And reconfigure all the existing buildings are gonna be the same.
Okay,
They're just refiguring the.
that's what I thought, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
said demolition.
No, yeah, it was a small stage demolition, yeah, not knocking down buildings, just knocking down walls.
The remodel.
Remodel, yeah, it's a remodel. That's about it from us. You guys have any questions of us?
Well, I went to staff meeting.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Eh, It's very eye-opening.
Okay, good.
I was amazed, at the amount of things you guys have to know and keep track of. So I was very impressed with the knowledge of the staff, and, you know, the entire staff seemed to know everything that was going on in the department, which, the one thing that Captain Tafoya and I talked about was recruiting. So could you maybe give us an update on that for the rest of the commission here? So.
Yeah, so we're still actively recruiting anyone we can. We're still short. The number fluctuates, but we definitely could use, as many people as want to be police officers. Definitely like to see them apply with us. It is a tough process. It takes months to get on, which can be difficult for many people, especially when there's so many job openings, currently in San Juan County for different positions that aren't law enforcement. It's a quicker turnaround time. You apply and you start a lot faster. So, but it's a long background process. There's polygraphs, there's medical evaluations, psychological evaluations, all that. So it's a very long process, and we hopefully don't dissuade people from wanting to be cops because of the process. It's a great way to have the best candidates matriculate into the police department.
Is that still a primary focus of the
It
department?
is the primary focus, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Any,
ma'am.
so then that, the building and recruiting, any other focuses?
No.
Okay.
I went to staff meeting also, a different one, and, yeah, it was very eye-opening. And, gave me a lot of time, and it was very interesting, so I appreciate that very much.
Well, yeah, we appreciate you guys coming.
Yeah.
When you're able to.
It really, if you guys get an opportunity, I don't know if Chief is gonna open up other dates, but it really is a good opportunity to see inside the department.
Yeah.
All the things that they have to have their fingers on, and the budgeting, and we talked a little bit about the building and but.
It is budget season for us, so
Yes.
that is very, very time intensive. And yeah, so that's I think you probably saw a little bit more in that staff meeting, because right now we're at the tail end of it, but for the month of halfway through April till halfway through May is really our budget intensive season.
Okay. But check it out, it was very informative,
Yeah.
so.
Yes. Yeah, I went to one, we both were at one, and it was nice to see the faces for the other departments, because we sort of
Right.
see
Yeah.
a few faces here. Mostly, officers out in the field, but not so many of the captains and lieutenants, so it was nice to kind of.
Yeah, it's good to get to know them
Yeah.
and all the areas that they're responsible for, and everything, each of their divisions is doing a separate but equal task, and kind of how it all coordinates together. It's definitely something we pride ourselves is our leadership team, and the amount of investment we do for the training and the time for them to get to the level we think they need to be at. So I'm glad you guys are recognizing that as well.
Yep, definitely appreciate y'all.
Anybody else?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief's Point, we appreciate it, thank you. Internal Affairs, monthly report. They're all going, not me.
Good evening. My name's Jason Thornburg. I'm one of the sergeants. So covering March and April, just going across the top here. March, we had 3 citizen complaints. You'll see there were 5 allegations. Each complaint can have more than 1 allegation on there, and that's what the discrepancy there. So out of those, 5 allegations, 2 were exonerated, and then 3 were sustained. In March, we just had 1 internal investigation. You see it says 2 allegations because 2 officers were on the call, so we checked into both of them. After thorough review on that, they were exonerated. And then the corrective action and disciplinary action are below that with the categories. And then we finished up April, did not have any citizen complaints. We did have open 2 internal investigation cases. Those are both related to DWI stops. Those are still pending at this time. We're giving those a thorough review and getting them up the chain of command for the captain and DC and chief to review. And then the corrective and disciplinary actions that are listed on the bottom. They're on the left.
That's a lot of corrective disciplinary action, 18 from 4 in the prior year.
Yeah, some of them are groups where multiple officers were involved, and it could have, many of those were just a counseling on how to do better next time, so.
I was curious on citizens' complaint for social media on March of 2025.
On social media.
Yeah, I'll handle that one. So
Thank you.
one of our officers had a social media page and a citizen complained about the content of the social media
Okay.
on that page, specifically one posting. And they thought it was distasteful. However, it wasn't actually aimed towards anybody or speaking to a specific call for service. It was on a private page. It was an acquaintance of theirs that the officer knew. And after the review, we found that it did not violate our social media policy.
So it was the officer's private page, it wasn't on the Farmington police
No,
page?
it wasn't associated with the Farmington page at all. The officer wasn't in uniform, wasn't representing the department in any manner, and it was on a private page.
But you still investigated?
Right, we still have to make sure that what they're posting isn't disseminating any information that shouldn't be disseminated or specifically offensive to a class of people or anything that might still violate our policy even without it being associated with the department.
I was just curious, I thought that's odd that a citizen would be complaining about it.
But it sounds like it was somebody that knew them.
It was, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can see.
Anybody
That's, no.
You done?
Well, I think so, but I'm happy to report as needed.
Okay.
All right, I will
Thank you.
handle the use of force report for
Yep.
Sergeant Burns, who is otherwise engaged tonight.
Okay.
So in March 2025, we had 11 separate use of force incidents with a total of 18 officers using force in those incidents and 23 applications of force, which were all unarmed arrest techniques. So that's our lowest level of force. Slightly elevated numbers from last year. Last year we only had 8 in the month of March. But our individual applications of force actually decreased a little bit. So we're still on par in that area and there was nothing concerning there. Transitioning to April of 2025, again, a slight increase in the number of use of force individual incidents with 12 and only 8 in the previous year. For these 12 incidents, we had 16 separate officers utilizing force and a total of 27 applications of force. And again, all of those were unarmed arrest techniques. So in March, we had 3 officers that sustained minor injuries and 3 suspects that sustained minor injuries. In April, 5 officers received minor injuries and 4 suspects received minor injuries. We also had 1 stop stick deployment in April. That was related to a pursuit that was initiated by the county, and we assisted them in stopping the vehicle by deploying stop sticks. So. Any questions about our use of force members?
Sounds great.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Business from the floor. Is there anybody from the floor who wishes to address the commission? So,
Yes, please.
okay. To identify who you are, your comments are limited to 3 minutes, and are to be address items that are, deal with police activity, and no formal action will be taken regarding any comments that you make from the floor, so.
Okay, thanks. My name is Adam Howell. I'm here to redress my grievances with government, and specifically the Farmington Police Department and how they treat members of the free press. It's become pretty clear to me that the Farmington Police Department does not really honor the concept of a free press in this community. And so what that means is that if you're not some television broadcaster wearing a pound of makeup and working for a big corporate network, they don't really respect you, especially if your narrative goes against their grain, right? So as an independent journalist, I want to record the police, I want to record government in the course of their duties. And oftentimes it's pretty clear that they want to prevent that from happening. But instead of just saying, hey, we don't want you to record our activities, we want you to stand across the street, or we want you to stand way over there where you can't hear or see anything. And so that's their go around for our free press right. So under the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, we have 5 freedoms. And, you know, we got the free press, we got the right to redress our grievances, and freedom of speech. Those are the main ones that we are trying to exercise out in the community. And what I found is that the Farmington Police Department often converts our civil rights into a crime or into crimes. For instance, what once was free press is now resisting, delaying, or obstruction, especially if someone else is offended by your presence on the scene. They suddenly convert it into a crime, and all of a sudden they can haul you to jail, they can issue a warrant, they can get, you know, the corrupt prosecutor to issue a warrant against you and put you in jail for that. Or if you speak the wrong words to the police, if you cuss at the police, which is protected activity, all of a sudden that activity is converted into a crime of obstruction, right? Even though we have Cohen versus California, which is supposed to protect our right to cuss in public, to cuss at police, to cuss at any public official, right? And so then on top of that, we have case law. We have what's known as Irizarry versus Yahia. It's a 10th Circuit case from 2022 that is supposed to help affirm our right to record police in the course of their duties. But the go around for the police, since they just have utter disdain for our civil rights to record them, is they just say, it's okay if you record. They always start off with, it's okay if you record, just do it from way over there. And then we know that they say that because they don't want us to hear or see what's going on with their activities. And so I'm asking you, I'm here to redress my grievances and ask you to look at that, look at those cases that come before you, and to understand that there is federal case law that's supposed to affirm our right to record or to redress our grievances, to speak. And if Mosley, you know, Lieutenant Mosley is offended because somebody is speaking words that he disagrees with within close proximity to an investigation that he's doing, I don't agree that he can just arrest that person and haul him to jail. So that's why I'm here. Just wanna let you know that that case law exists, and and know that we're watching and trying to pay attention to what's going on in our government, and we're gonna just keep on recording public officials in the course of their duties. We're gonna keep redressing our grievances. We're gonna speak freely, and then hopefully, eventually, someone will understand those rights and they'll respect those rights and understand when a police officer tries to manipulate them and convert them into a crime when they're not supposed to be converted unlawfully. So thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Howell, we appreciate it. So as we indicated, there'll be no formal action taken, but we do appreciate your comments. Thank you. I skipped over new business. Anybody have new business? Okay.
No.
Closed meeting? We have discussion for closed meeting? All right. We will go into a closed session for the purpose of case review pursuant to section 10:15 1H2. I would entertain a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of going into closed session indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we will go into closed session.
I like the so moved. You disclosed it. You need the first or a second on that.
What's that? Here, let me put this down. So one of those CPAC members wasn't even making eye contact with me. She was like looking on her phone while I was redressing my grievances. Thank you, Mile High Community Channel. Really? Anybody in the Four Corner Fist in the Air chat? Not seeing it anymore.
Go over to, we're not gonna go back tonight.
I don't know. Let me go look at the agenda and see what else is supposed to be on there. Brandon Mitchell, welcome in. If you're just now joining, you're watching Press for Transparency. We were just in the Citizen Police Advisory Commission meeting for the city of Farmington, New Mexico. It's Tuesday, May 20th. Time is 5:54 p.m. I was just redressing my grievances with the council, and
You know, they're still watching our channel. You wanna know why? There's a troll on my channel.
are you still getting chat comments?
No.
Is it frozen?
Yeah.
Okay, so Four Corner Fist in the Air's chat cut out or jammed or something?
So, we're gonna go back in, or?
I don't know, I'm gonna look at the agenda over here and show you all the agenda. Well, I guess there is, no, wait. Yeah, here's the agenda. Okay, I'll show you guys. So, agenda. Reconvene meeting. Okay, so all it says that's left is to reconvene the meeting. And I don't know what that means, but
I don't know why they have a little private session when it's a public meeting, right?
right?
We got to do.
My High Community Channel is here.
Oh, hi, Brandon Mitchell. All right, y'all, go jump over to my chat. Jammed up, but jump over to the Press for Transparency, give them some more info.
Right.
Live here. Hey, good job, man. Appreciate you
Heck yeah.
giving that speech to them. They need to hear it. You know.
Heck yeah.
I know it's gonna go throughout one ear and out the other, but
Right? I could tell at least one of them had pretty serious disdain for me. Most of the others were making eye contact with me. One was like, I don't know what she was doing. She was like, obviously like looking something up on her phone. I guess I wouldn't hold that against her, but she didn't make much eye contact with me during my public comments. So I don't expect her to really side with my opinions, but it's still important that we let them know that we're watching and let them know that we know what the law really is. And Friends in Code, welcome in.
yeah, the
Yeah, right, Scott.
police department don't like us in there when we came in.
Yeah. The room went silent when we walked in.
They're like, dang it. We thought they were gonna show up to these meetings no more.
Right. The room went silent when we walked in.
Right, y'all, if you wanna jump over the press for transparency, I would remind you of that. I appreciate it. I'm out.
If you didn't already hear my public comments, I'd suggest you go back and listen to them.
Hey,
Pretty good.
it's on record now.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
We have people watching you address your grievances to the CPAC, because as you can see, it's nothing but them in there. Nothing but the police officers. Nobody shows up to these meetings.
Yeah,
Nobody
we
from
were
public.
we were the only members of the public in there, right?
Exactly. You know, Tri-City News Records, I thought they would be here so we could address them about, you know, what was being said on their newspaper.
Can I get you a shot?
Yeah. There was false information that was being put on the local Tri-City News Records about what happened with Press Harder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we, you know, Press for Transparency really does, you know, does research, and he keeps an eye on the website of what's going on within the community, the government community of Farmington, San Juan County, and he does a good job at it. He informs me. Yeah. So he read the newspaper and he found I forgot what the code was that they were telling us that we were violating.
Yeah, there was just some statute that they were trying to say that Four Corner Fist in the Air and Press Harder had violated when they were doing some cop watching. And so we emailed them and said, hey, this is not even close to being applicable to what happened. And they were there that night, and it's potentially defamatory. And then they took out that information once they reviewed it a little bit further, and I edited the story before it went to print. So that was the Tri-City Record reporting on Press Harder's arrest. And Yep.
So the state statute that they put on their newspaper, the article that was a state statute for the police officers. And we're not part of the police force, police department.
It was some statute pertaining to police records that they were trying to say you violated.
Yeah, the private information that we were getting, and it's free press, you know, anything out in public is not private, unless they create it.
Right. Yeah, they were saying that you recorded like private information from a rape victim.
The way they made it sounded like I got some nudity or some kind of.
You're trying to say that you were responsible for the police records about a rape victim, which wasn't true at all. It was just some BS that, I don't know, I mean, who knows where they got it, but we looked it up and figured it out pretty quick.
So if you guys wanna look at the article, they brought out another article the other day about Press Harder not showing up to court. And they're really on, you know, the information on, about Press Harder, and I don't know, so they're making a big deal out of that, and that's the Tri-City News record.
Mm-hmm. So Brian Johnson, Howard Clegg, Friends in Code. You have rights, cops have duties. Welcome in. Welcome in, Bill. So if you didn't already see it, you can rewind the video to see a little bit of redress of grievances. I was the only person redressing grievances at the Citizens Police Advisory Committee.
I'm sure you spoke with both of us, you know.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, I mean, who knows what effect that has, but we gotta keep believing in redress, we gotta keep believing in free speech, we gotta keep believing in free press, free speech, redress, you know, all the elements of the First Amendment. And keep exercising our rights, keep exposing what's going on in the community, keep on recording public officials, keep attending meetings when they're relevant to your life.
It's crazy them charging us with these charges, obstructing, resisting, when they know we never resisted and obstructed. We know, they know that we never resisted or obstructed, but even though that there's no proof with us filming, with no physical act of us obstructing, they still got a warrant out for us.
Yep.
And this is City Hall where I was charged with criminal trespass, resisting and concealing identity.
Right, maybe we should show them. I'll show them.
There was a sign here last, what about months? Yeah, they had a sign here. Where it said, no photography nor filming inside the public lobby in here. And they had another one up over here. And they had another one up over there. And I came in one day, and I came in multiple times. I came in one day, turning in some complaints, paperwork, and I seen the sign here saying, you know, no filming or photography, and I told the clerk, Andrea Jones, I said, so what, if I pull out my phone, what will happen? She goes, I will call the police on you. So I pulled out my phone, started filming, and what was his name came? Sergeant.
Gaines?
No.
Oh yeah, it was
But he quit last year.
His name?
Stearman.
Mike Stearman?
Stearman, I just call him Stearman right now, yeah, but.
Yeah, Stearman kicked you out of this lobby here.
Yeah, he still charged me with criminal trespass, resisting and concealing identity.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's when James Freeman got involved. He got me civil rights attorney, and once they found out I got a civil rights attorney, they dropped two of the charges, which was concealing identity and resisting arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Then they still wanted me to go to court for the criminal trespass.
Yeah.
Then the civil rights attorney told me that he would give me a criminal attorney, which he did. And I was trying to get in touch with the criminal attorney, which was, what was his name? The one that represented both.
Zach Cook? Or the one that represented us?
Yeah.
Travis
Travis
Marston.
Marston, yeah. Yeah, so he was my criminal attorney, but when I got a letter in the mail telling me to show up at court for the criminal trespass, I tried calling Travis Marston, he didn't pick up, so I ended up calling the civil rights attorney. And he asked me what was going on. I informed him what was happening. I got a letter in the mail telling me that I needed to show up to court for the criminal trespass here in the city of Farmington. And he told me to send a letter to him, so I did. And what he did is he called over here and told Jennifer Brukel and Russell Frost that if they don't drop the charges, he's going to appear on my court date. And the next day they dropped the charges. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that was one of the most egregious civil rights violations I've seen here in Farmington. Just you getting kicked out of the lobby just for recording, and I mean, I guess that's anytime your rights are being violated, it feels egregious and painful.
And this is put that in front.
Andrea Jones.
She's the one that called the Stearman on me, the Farmington Police Department. She was working that day. I'm sure there's a few of you guys in here that remember when that happened, because I was live. And I appreciate all that were involved with making phone calls. You guys did a flood call, and they understood you guys were watching. And they thought, every time I go out there, they think I'm by myself, and just because I have a small channel, they think, they can just, bully me around. Same thing with Press for Transparency, but they don't understand. We got a bunch of support.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that see what's happening.
So I appreciate all the support. Keep support one another. So.
Heck yeah.
Like I told them, I said, I'm going to be doing this for a long time, and I'm still here. They tried to get me to They tried to shut my channel down by throwing me in jail, putting me on probation, arresting me. I think I got arrested 4 times altogether. Getting warrants put out on me. Yeah.
Right. Now we're gonna look at the cameras that they have in the lobby here. They've got cameras. Of course, it's always a problem when they often see it as a problem when we record them, even though they are recording us. So, it's good to see the signs were taken down. They changed their tune, but it's weird that they want to sign us in. Like they put my initials down.
Yeah.
They put my initials on the sign-up form for this meeting. Like she automatically knew who I was and just put my initials down. That's kind of creepy, dude. Why would they do that? Yeah, I told her I didn't want to waive my 4th Amendment, but she put my initials down. I mean, okay, that's
San Juan County for you.
seems like they're just hyper controlling. Okay, guys, I'm gonna cut off this live stream. Been in here for 39 minutes. Thank you all for joining. You're watching Press for Transparency. You guys all have a good night.